Joining us live to discuss today's ANZAC Day commemorations, James Bolt from the Institute of Public Affairs and Matt Grudnoff, Senior Economist at the Australia Institute. Thank you both for joining us today. James, it's been good to see crowds back this ANZAC Day after a tough year with dealing with coronavirus.
Yeah, it's been such a tough year, and to see those crowds, to see those really moving reports I was just watching on Sky just shows that life is starting to come back to normal, and I think we can all thank the Northern Territory people for really keeping Australian culture alive today in that cross. It was a shame to see such few crowds at Victoria, and especially with the lockdown in Perth, just showing that the fear of lockdowns and the draconian restrictions still exist in Australia. But I think we can all take a step today and just go, thank goodness things are starting to get back to normal.
Matt, it was a hard-fought campaign for some veterans to be able to march today. Many were angry at the proposed caps, especially given the huge sporting crowds being allowed back into stadiums.
Yeah, look, it's very odd. We've got big crowds at stadiums, but they can't march. I understand that, you know, when you've got sort of a ticketed event like a sporting event, it might be a bit easier to maintain COVID restrictions. But I think it just shows that you know, sport is very powerful in this country, and they can do things quite often that others can't. I mean, we just have to look at the Olympics. We're about to send a whole heap of athletes to Japan, which is in the middle of a COVID sort of outbreak. And, you know, there's no any real discussions about stopping that. So I think it just shows the power of sport.
Let's move on to the Royal Commission into veteran suicide now. James, should the Prime Minister have acted sooner?
I think so. I've been watching stories from people sharing their stories all week on Sky, and it's been heartbreaking to watch, and it's clearly been an issue for some time. And not only should he have acted sooner, I'm a little worried because Royal Commissions can be such a way for politicians to kick the can down the road, I guess, and you just hope that this is being treated very carefully. It's been giving a lot of resources, and we can get to the bottom of this because this is such an important issue and you just don't want it to be treated lightly.
James?
The bottom 20% get nothing. They're really unfair tax cuts.
People want to see much stronger action from the government when it comes to climate change.
It's no coincidence that we have a wages crisis in Australia.
Transitioning to net zero emissions, it doesn't seem like there's much room for gas.